Rear tires been wiped up in acetone about 10 times. That usually does it, because then there's no residue left on the cloth when you go over it. So now I have made my initial markup, so I know where the stickers are going to be and where they are going to be on this side, from the lip and downwards to where I know they will sit. I'm going to be plucking off all these things here, because we need to get all this sanded down to be smooth, to be able to get the glue and the stickers to adhere. As always, 400 grit wet sandpaper. I find that is the best for this application. And we're going to start on this side. And with these tires, there's a lot of details on the sides from the mold that we need gone. We need to get it as flat as possible. And I find that with these pretty soft tires, it is just a matter of using pretty high grit sandpaper and just going through the motions, spending a lot of time doing this, because if you use higher grit or lower grit if you want, rougher sandpaper or any mechanical removing of this, then you're going to scar up the tire. It's not going to be pretty, it's not going to bond as well. So this just takes time, and this is really boring. So take your time, work your way through, get all these knobs and stuff all the way down to where it's even, and then you can start applying letters. Just wanted to show you the difference between this part that hasn't been sanded with all these tabs and this very glossy surface and a lot of these lines and all that stuff, and then this part where it has been sanded down, so there's no lines, there's none of these studs, whatever you want to call them, and here they start off again. So this indentation from the lettering we can't do anything about. It's not going to be filled in with anything, but as long as it's not protruding, but it is in the surface and everything else is very smooth, then it's going to stick real good. So that's for the first sticker done. That was a lot of work for such a small thing. Now we're going to do the other thing, and then we're going to start applying letters. So let's get them cleaned off one last time. We're going to run them over with some acetone. That being done, space up the letters, apply some glue, and dry time. And after that long and tedious process, I'll leave these guys for overnight, I think, before removing the backing. Alright, this is the next day. The glue has had some time to set, and let's peel off the first peel ply here. As you see, the lettering is still a bit yellowed. That is because there is this one layer of peel off that stays on the letters. So off with this, and then as I said, you're supposed to seal up the edges of all this lettering with glue, but this seems to have such a good bond that I'm not gonna get glue everywhere. I don't want that. So I can just peel off lettering on the letters, which will expose this nice bright white rubber. Let's do this on all of these. Also, with the kit, you get this rubber brighter. I have no idea what's in it. I don't care, but this is for when over time these will take off a lot of crap and they will fade in color. They will become more brown and yellowish. You can use that rubber bright to get them back to this very, very white color. So let's get the rest of this stuff off and get the wheel back on the car. Alright, not having any room at all, I think it's time to break out old Clarkson. I've tried everything, we've tried to adjust whatever we needed, but there's just no way in hell that these wheels are gonna fit under these arches and inside this. So we need to make some room, or I need to change the tires, which I'm not gonna do. Alright, this is not gonna be pretty, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, just come over here and you can see what we're dealing with. The problem being that the inner fender rubs a lot, so this is just being, yeah, molested pretty badly. Otherwise, I don't think we're rubbing on anything. It looks really, really good. I re-sprayed just really badly the inner the over fender where we were hitting, but since we adjusted the tension rod, there's been no problems with that. So the last problem that I can't seem to adjust my way out of is this inner wheel well. So now I'm gonna be finagling this best way possible, and let's see if that gives us enough clearance to run these big fat sticky boys. I hate when you have to do this, but sometimes there's just no choice. And that's it. So just loosening up these guys here. And from here off, we need to measure to get 1 more centimeter. So just measure this from some point. You can just zero it out like this, and then you just add 1 centimeter. This is what we need to go upwards. So let's adjust this. That's basically 1 centimeter of height added. Then we are going to get all the sand and crap out. Get this thing on here. Getting these guys on. Let's get the wheel back on and the car on the ground. Alright. Let's see. And we need to get it off the ramps because they're not completely even. I am going to go out for test drive, see how it feels, and to see if old Clarkson took care of the inside fender well rubbing. Right, car just feels so much better. So I guess all the fiddling with the front did the trick. It's pretty neutral when I let go of the steering wheel. Also under braking, it just brakes pretty even and straight. So that's a good starting point for a further setting up and aligning of the front. But I think we got the height pretty good now. I'm gonna do a double check when we get home, just to make sure that everything is the way we want it. Let's just go find somewhere where we can go slow. I'll just try to do a full lock and see if it will rub. Yeah, that noise. I don't really know if you can hear me over the noise, but it just sounds so good. Okay, abandoned parking lot. Here we go. Alright, first gear. Full lock to the left. Trying to go full lock. Not really trusting it. Oh, binding up just a little bit. Okay, not really much. Full lock right. And I am on the bump stops. And it's just turning like it should. Very, very nice. Alright. Again. Full left lock. And then it just binds up. We'll just jump out and see what it catches on. But still, this is a lot more lock than it ever had. And the problem still being that we are hitting right here, and you can see it on the tire, but it's a lot more lock than it ever had. And it doesn't really rub anywhere else. Yeah. There you have it. Amazing. Thank you guys for following and watching so far. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. That helps the channel grow so I can build more cars and get a bigger garage. We need that, guys. Come on. We need a much, much larger garage. So thank you, and I will see you on the next one.